is Benjamin Okeze Kalu, representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency. I am from Abia State. Arise.
From the hallowed chambers, his voice resonates crystal clear.
You say you shared money recently, and I represent the constituency, and there are 360 of us, and all of them are saying we are not feeling the impact.
He's the unmistaken voice of Undi Bende and the image maker of the House of Representatives.
Swept away houses and roads in communities like Mpa, Umimenyi, Uzita, and Bende. Mr. Speaker,
he's a committed, courageous, articulate, and deeply impassioned lawmaker with the plight of his constituents.
Joining me now on the political segment is Honorable Benjamin Kalu, who's the spokesman of the House of Representatives.
Ben Kalu's mandate gives you first-hand information on the activities of the member representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, as well as his position on national issues. Ben Kalu's mandate airs on Flow 94.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, and Real 99.1 FM every Tuesday by 10:30 a.m. Ben Kalu's mandate, gains of quality representation. Well, it's the second edition of Ben Kalu's mandate, where we highlight the activities of the member representing the good people of Bende Federal Constituency at the lower chambers of the 9th National Assembly. That's the House of Representatives. Bridging the gap between the parliament and the people is the program Ben Kalu's mandate. Welcome. Happy New Month. My name is Michael Oni. The program is live on Flow 94.9 FM, both on the terrestrial platforms and online platforms, running simultaneously on Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Umuahia, and Real 99.1 FM. We've got the regular guest in the studio. He's the spokesperson of the House of Representatives because he's also the chairman of the Media and Public Affairs Committee of the House of Representatives, representing Bende Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives. And of course, a member of several other committees, Honorable Benjamin Kalu. Good morning to you and Happy New Month.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me again today. And Abians, we're going to have a good time discussing. Happy to have you attached to your radio now.
You're welcome. Interesting. You've been at home touring the wards of your constituency in the midst of the ongoing re-registration in your party, the All Progressives Congress. People have come for holiday and gone back to their base. What are you still doing at home?
That was a good word. I'm a party man.
Okay.
And as a party man, I have a responsibility that has been given to me as the chairman of the leadership caucus of APC in my federal constituency. That mandate comes with a whole lot of burden, and one of which is to make sure that we grow the party from the grassroots. Therefore, I should lead from the front, not from the back. Sitting down in Abuja will not create the needed impact that we need in our party efforts to increase our numbers. So that was why I relocated from Abuja down here. I left after the Christmas, but because of this need, I had to come back. And I'm operating through a new strategy of reaching out to the people, not from my house, not just sitting and inviting them to come to the constituency office. I've been going to house, sensitization tour. One, to energize my party in Bende, and also to harvest all the people who have been sitting on the flags who want to join our party, both PDP, ABGA, SDP, and so far so good. It has been a wonderful harvest of souls for APC in Abia State, especially in Bende Federal Constituency. So that's why I've been around here.
Okay, great. Now let's go straight to some very important issues. The much anticipated petroleum industry bill is on the path of becoming a law, and it is currently at the committee stage at the National Assembly, one of the final stages of a bill before it is considered and passed. Quickly give us a brief understanding of the PIB, the petroleum industry bill, what it holds for the upstream and the downstream sector.
Yeah, the all-important PIB is gaining momentum towards passing it into a law. Unlike the previous attempt, this which was on a private sponsored bill.
Okay.
At the moment, what we have is a state sponsored bill. So it's coming from the government. And unlike before, it has a lot of support currently from various stakeholders. And as you know, what Nigeria is trying to do is to transition our energy sector from what it is to what it ought to be. We started from coal to petroleum and gas to what the world is embracing today, which is alternative sources of energy. It had been projected that we have about 15 years to 30 years to finish up with what we have to do with oil and gas. The question becomes, have we, using the current legal framework, achieved the maximum profit from the oil and gas sector? The answer is no. And the question becomes why? It's because the current legal framework is not interesting both for the IOCs who bring in the money for the investment, and also the host community, as well as the national government. Are they reaping what they're supposed to reap from that particular sector? Now, it is only our laws, when we put them into the right frame, that will drive the expectation from that particular industry. That's why the whole world have left us behind in our transition into what the energy global energy requirement is all about. So we are speeding up to make sure that we benefit from the deposit that we have, that God has blessed us with, and maximize it so that we can join others and enter into the next phase of in the energy sector, which is through alternative sources of energy. So now the question becomes, the IOCs, are they comfortable with the bill as it is? The answer is they have series of concerns.
Okay.
The IOCs are, when it comes to deep water development, they are saying that that the current law as it is and the proposal that have been made so far does not favor them to bring in investment. We don't have the money to do the oil business here. Well, we need to depend on funding from the IOCs. They're saying that what we have put together, or this executive have put together, is not encouraging, it's not competitive enough for them to bring investment or to start new projects. And they are proposing that we should structure it in a way to enable the first 5 years for them to enjoy a relief, tax relief. They're also saying that we should also waive the hydrocarbon tax since they are paying the company income tax. And they're also proposing that 1% of royalty should be what should be attached to natural gas. Okay. Now you go to gas development. They are saying that inadequate midstream infrastructure is what is around, if you're looking at the bill as it is. And the regulated gas pricing also is anti-development of the industry. And they are saying that for the government to actualize their aspiration, they need to change certain things. One of them is to provide a clear path for the transition to free market-based pricing, which means let the market forces determine the price. They are also saying that pre-existing contracts and agreements, they should be allowed to run their full course. There is no time for us to be able to go through all of them, because they also spoken about it will take about a week for me to lecture Abians on what is happening with the PIB. But let us go to the host communities. Okay. The host communities have concern.
Okay, but before we go to the host community, I'd like us to domesticate it. What we heard as journalists about Abia State almost missing out on the list of the invited oil-producing state for the public hearing.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. When you were elected to represent your federal constituency down there at Abuja, you forget about the colors of your party. I'm one of those who believe that you should forget about the colors of your party. You don't, because you are there on another political platform, now jettison the need to synergize with the state government in achieving things that will outlive the current government, because it's not about Okezie Ikpeazu and his government, it's about Abia State. So when I went through the list, I'm a member of the committee, and so when I went through the list, I saw that all the states that were oil producing states were invited to come and make presentation. And I know Abia State is an oil producing state. And I questioned, I said, why didn't you include my state? And I made a lot of trouble about that. And I went to the chairman and the clerk, they apologized. And I said, I must get a letter addressed to the governor immediately. Immediately they wrote a letter, sent to me. I contacted the government house here, approached SSG, approached chief of staff, approached PA to the governor. And at the time we finished talking, every hand got on deck. And we worked as a team between the time I mentioned this to the government house and less than 24 hours. Somebody was sent from Unpack Deck. Is it Osopa Deck or something, to come to Abuja.
Asopa Deck.
Asopa Deck, yes. Asopa Deck. Somebody was sent, I think it's their legal representative or legal secretary or something. He came in. I was there. I waited. There was no space, for him to make that presentation that following day. It was very tight. But I insisted that Abia State must make their presentation first before the host communities, because we have to make our presentation first as oil states, oil producing states, before we can join the host community to make. So the host community people, they have already climbed the rostrum to make their presentation. I stood up from my seat and said, no, until Abia is heard, you cannot speak. And I was supported by my colleagues, and the gentleman was invited, and he made a very good presentation positioning Abia State in the minds of the IOCs, and it was watched live across the world. I didn't want Abia State's name to be missing on the list, so I insisted on that. And I'm sure the governor was very impressed with it, and also the members he's working with, they were impressed, because I'm there looking out for the government. So that's about that.
Okay, still on the PIB now, let's talk about the controversies now, the fears of the host communities and the readiness of the House to pass the bill by April as promised by the Speaker.
Yes, the fears of the host communities has been that their interest is not being captured the way it's supposed to be captured. The argument is that the 7th Assembly and the 8th Assembly made a proposition in that bill, the PIGB bill, that says that 10% or 5% should be given to them from the IOCs.
Okay.
But this particular state sponsors bill is positioning it at 2.5% of not profit, but operating expenses, which is called OPEX. That they should take 2.5% of OPEX, that is operating expenses of the oil companies. And they are saying, no, host community is saying, no, 2.5% is paltry amount compared to what proposition that was made by the 7th and the 8th Assembly to be about 5%. For now, what they are asking for 10%. They are saying 10% of the equity is what they want, because they want to have this participatory, element in the whole arrangement. Especially as we're going to have NMPC Limited, they want to be part of the owners. They are arguing that you cannot allow us suffer all this environmental degradation, and we are not part of the decision makers in the board of the NMPC Limited and all the rest of them. So they are fighting for their interests. But on the other hand, the Minister of State for Petroleum, former governor of Bayelsa State, Timi Silva, said 2.5% is better because of operating expenses is better compared to any amount on profit, because the IOCs might come up and say we did not make any profit. So in that case, you are not getting anything. But if you have it pegged on operating expenses, you are sure that they will carry it to the next budget of the budget of the next year, and you are sure of your 2.5% coming. So that is the argument going on. And how are we going to go about it? Like you asked, are we committed to making, despite all these controversies, are we committed to clearing this and passing the bill in good time as proposed by the Speaker? That is April as our target. The answer is yes. I have been selected as one of the 20 people that will sit on this and analyze this PIB in Dubai. In a few days' time, I'll be in Dubai for almost 10 days. And what we're going to do is to deep dive on the bill.
Okay.
To be able to bring out, make sure that the interests of all the parties, both the IOCs on one side, the government on one side, the host community on one side, that will put it together to bring out a particular law that will interest this Federal Republic of Nigeria, not only favoring the government, and leaving the host communities there, or favoring the IOCs and abandoning the country. So we will tie all this together. That is why we are lawmakers. We'll take these feedbacks. Having done the public hearing, the next thing is for us to go back to the committee level, which we are doing now. We're going to sit in a secluded place to dissect the bill and come out with something that will be read for the third time, and then clause by clause consideration during consideration of the bill in the House. So we are sure, we are committed that we are going to meet up with the deadline of April.
Interesting. It is Ben Kalu's mandate. We're live on Flow 94.9 FM, both on the terrestrial platforms and also the online platforms, also running simultaneously on Vision Africa 104.1 FM and Real 99.1 FM in Abia, and also on ABN TV online platform. Thank you very much for joining us. It's the second edition of the program for, of course, it is the first edition for the month of February. Now let's continue the conversation. Let's look at security. I do still have Honorable Benjamin Kalu in the studio. Let's talk about that, your visit to the Commissioner of Police over the security situation in Abia North. Can you give us an outcome of that meeting?
Yeah, I came back from my house-to-house sensitization on Sunday. Thereabout, I think it was a Sunday, yeah. In the evening around 10 o'clock, my sister of mine, who is not even based in Abia State, sent me a video clip and also a press release from the local government chairman of Bende. I was shocked to learn that something like that was happening around my area. I immediately went into action by contacting all the security agencies, because that is what I'm expected to do as the representative of my people. And you know, government is all about protecting lives and properties of the people. So I cannot be indifferent and nonchalant about the insecurity situation in my federal constituency, and neither am I expected to leave it for the governor alone or the local government chairman alone. So I contacted the various security agencies, and some of them contacted me as well without me calling them, and we discussed. And I left my house and went out to engage with them. I met with the DSS and also spoke with the Commissioner of Police, and I'm happy the way the security agencies are working in this state. To be honest, they are hardworking, and they need our support. They don't take any issue as small. They put all their effort to make sure that things don't escalate. I saw the cooperation from them, and I saw the passion towards doing their job and securing our lives in Abia State well. And we engaged. Out of that engagement, I found out that about a couple of sheep or small cattle, small cows were killed by unknown fellows who I believe they are not from Bende Federal Constituency, because when we listen to the video, they don't speak our dialects, so we don't know where they came from, and we believe that the security agencies are nosing around to make sure they track those who came to do that. There was no confrontation. It must be clear that these people, we are not confronting our people. They were sleeping when they were attacked. So for me, I was not happy that
maybe I should
that happened.
I should just use the opportunity to ask of your opinion, and of course the House of Reps' opinion, the position of the House of Representatives on the volatile security situation that we have in the country, especially these ethnic, inter-ethnic clashes because of the farmer headers clashes in the country. Okay,
before I come to that, let me round up on that. Based on that interaction I had with the security agencies, today we're having a meeting that all the stakeholders were there, and we're going to deliberate on how to move things forward. I also went to FMC yesterday, and I thank the MD of FMC, who, though in Abuja, also cleared the path with the CMAC, the Chief Medical Advisory Chairman, who now took me to where this particular individual that was hurt through a gunshot. I interacted with them and also the family. So we've tried to calm it down. Today we'll continue in the discussion. And also the governor, I got a feedback, the governor is committed to making sure that this does not escalate. He has also made some pledges to make sure that whatever that was lost in the course of this attack will be taken care of by his office. And that is very, very commendable. Yeah, what do we think about insecurity in the country? Honestly, before we became elected members of the parliament, before we got into government, we were all citizens, and we are still citizens. There is nothing that separates us from the people. if Nigeria is bleeding, we are bleeding because we are Nigerians. And to say that the insecurity situation in Nigeria is something that we should be happy about, I mean, it's not true. We are very concerned, and that is why we've moved series of motions in the House. We have insisted that the leaders of the armed forces, the chiefs, that they were changed. And finally, the president listened to us, and the chiefs were changed. New blood is in now, and this new blood, they are coming with new energy. Not that we don't celebrate those who have left. For you to wear our national colors, we appreciate anybody out there saving our lives. We appreciate the security agencies. But at the time, it became like there was it was monotonous. In economics, they call it law of marginal utility, where you do one thing severally and you become less productive and less efficient than you're supposed to be. So it was time for you to throw in the towel and then just move on. So the president listened to the people and was able to change these ones. I am sure that though they may not be the messiahs that will take us away from insecurity to perfect security, but though it is a step in the right direction among so many other steps that we expect the president to take, it is also going to bring a new energy, a new strategy that will help take us closer to the solution, even if not so perfectly, at least a bit more comfortably than it has been. So we are hopeful that this new team, they are going to do a whole lot of work in making sure that we calm the nerve of
quickly, just before we throw the lines open, because I will like the good people of Bende Federal Constituency to even get more closer to you, to get closer rather to you on the program this morning. But just before I throw the lines open, let's talk about the federal government's national social investment programs. The Empower, the conditional cash transfer program, homegrown feeding school program, and the likes. Abians want to know what you are doing in the National Assembly to ensure that Abia partake fully in all the social investment programs of the federal government.
I'm in the forefront of this particular intervention. Beautiful program, beautiful project by the federal government. Execution is always the problem. The structure to execute it so that people like you and me, not you and me in this case, I mean everybody in the community that needs it gets it. I don't need it at this level, but there are so many people who need it, who supported democracy. One of your adverts that you play for this program, you will hear my voice asking the lady who was there, the special advisor who was there, where did you spend this money? You said you shared money. People in my local government, people in my state, they don't have this money. Where did you share this money? You play it when you run this mandate, Ben Carlo mandate. That was the question I raised when I had a one-on-one interview on a television program. Now, I've noticed through my own research that Abia has not been well captured. I observe also through complaints from and petitions from various Abians, eminent sons of Abia, that only 8 local government out of 17 local government was captured, and that is changing the remaining 9 local government. Are you going to throw the poor and the needy there away? The answer is no. That is injustice. That is unfair for you to have 17 local government and only 8 local government was captured. The governor have been battling with that. I have been interacting with the Economic Planning Commission, the Planning Commission of Abia State. The permanent secretary there will attest to that. Last time when I was here last week, from your office here, I went to see her and I asked her the challenges again. And Chinoye, who is in charge of SIP as well, I've also been interacting with him to make sure that the needs of Abians were captured and presented before the ministry. Because of the complaints I got, I immediately went into action, and got the minister engaged, the minister in charge of humanitarian affairs. I told her, this is what the complaint from my state is, and this is what I want you to do. Immediately, I got confirmation from the Abia Planning Commission that because of my intervention, that they have invited the leadership of the commission to Abuja for an interaction. I am sure that very soon there's going to be good news. They refuse to register Abia, but not when we are still in government. We will not allow them to rest until Abians are well captured, so that everybody in the rural area who's supposed to benefit from this intervention from the federal government, irrespective of political party, will be able to benefit from it. I'm working closely with the state government to make sure that my intervention at the federal level will grant Abian the access that they need,
in this program, and people will benefit from it. And I thank the governor the way he gives support and the way he encourages this synergy, not minding political colors, and it's working. These people will mention to you that it is working. The intervention is working, and I'm sure Abians will soon begin to experience it.
All right, it's the program Ben Kalu'S Mandate, the weekly program right here on Flow 94.9 FM. We're also live on Vision Africa Radio and also Real 99.1 FM. Not forgetting Abia and TV. It's an online platform. Now let's throw the lines open. The lines are very much open. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. You have 45 seconds, Max. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Honorable Benjamin Carlo.
Good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, sir. Yeah. I am Joseph Ejindo. I'm calling from Alai.
All right.
I'm Ankara precisely. Honorable, honestly, I must commend you for open door policy, because you have been giving us information direct. We have been interacting with you direct to know exactly what is happening in the House of Representatives where you are representing us. I must commend you for that, unlike before.
Thank you, sir.
And the thing that I want to bring you into is concerning this insecurity that we have been experiencing in our own constituency. And I know you will do something to ensure that we return normalcy in our constituency.
Quickly run through your question so that we can accommodate others.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, what I want to ask is this. Honorable, what is your effort to ensure that our dilapidated schools in our constituency are repaired? And what are your efforts to ensure that some of the federal roads in your constituency, some of the roads in the constituency are fixed?
All right.
I know you have been attracting.
Thank you for your contribution. Unfortunately, I have to let you go because of the time, and Honorable will respond to that.
Thank you, my brother Joe Ejindo. I must commend you for your, participation in our federal constituency development. You are very active. You are not aloof. I really want our constituents to be like you, get involved in what is going on. Let's start with the insecurity. I went with the senator representing the Abia North Senatorial District. We interacted with the military and had a closed door section about this insecurity, especially what is happening at the Akara axis. And I can assure you something is being done about that. I have also yesterday discussed with the director of DSS, who also assured me that they have put down a post there. The area commander of police has put down a post there, and there is also a patrol vehicle that has been put on that axis. Effort is being made, and I'm sure the governor is going to, as the chief security officer of the state, is going to support all the security agencies to make sure that they achieve this security we are looking for. Now, on the issue of dilapidated schools, in the last budget I put in about 13 schools in the federal constituency. Some of them new construction and some of them renovation. They are ongoing at the moment. When you look closely, in the next 1-2 months, they'll be more visible. Some have reached the lintel level. Some are starting from the foundation level. Some are being touched up as it is. We are going to showcase it, like you have acknowledged that we do transparency in communicating with you. We are going to showcase it very soon, how many we have done and their various locations. On roads,
okay,
you are aware that from Umahia to Bende, the road is being done. I heard somebody was claiming the credit, one of the honorable members, and I laughed because we work very hard with Fashola to make sure that Bende Road to Umahia was repaired. It is ongoing. If you go there now, you see some section of it, you can drive on it, closing your eyes. We still have more that is coming on that road. We attracted 12 billion naira worth of project to run from Umahia down to Ohavia, I did that with the support of the senator as also the Minister of Works. So very soon, a bigger job is going to start on that road. They've approved about 1.1 billion on it. So that is our effort so far.
I'm afraid this is how far we can go. Hopefully,
one more question. Can't you take one more question?
We will get an extension. Hopefully, the lines are still blinking, but our time
maybe
is fast.
One more question.
I cannot accommodate. Thank you very much, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, for your time this morning on the program. And next week, hopefully, we get enough time to take calls.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And those who tune in, thank you. Unfortunately, they've not been able to get up to 1 hour for me to do this program. I'm asking for 1 hour. They are giving me 30 minutes. Hopefully, with time, we'll be able to increase to 1 hour, because most of you have reasonable questions to ask. They want to have this interaction. That is why we created this program. I'm sure in the coming weeks or months, they'll be able to find time to accommodate us to have 1 full hour engagement, because that is why you elected us. You need to hear from us. That will clear a lot of gray areas, increase transparency and accountability. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. My name is Michael Oni.